So Kant thinks that what makes humans unique is that we have reason, and what's so great about reason, what reason is for helping us have the good will. So what's unique about humans is that we have reason, reason leads us to the good will. It seems like what's unique about humans for Kant is this capacity to act ethically, the capacity to have a good will. And so he's going to say that the good will is now related to duty. The good will, he says, is good all by itself. But we know that some things, he'll say, can make it shine more brightly, whatever that means. He's going to say that duty is interesting because it exposes the goodwill to certain obstacles. That means that sometimes when you have to do your duty, it's hard. We know usually that things worth doing aren't the easiest ones, right? The path of least resistance isn't all that interesting, isn't all that noble. So he's going to say when we follow our duty, it's better. Now you might wonder, well wait, didn't we just say the consequences don't matter? So how can it matter if we do our duty or not when all that matters is having the goodwill? Well, the goodwill tells us what our duty is. And it's better to follow our duty than not to. And we know it's better to follow our duty for the right reasons. So it's a different thing, he's going to say, to sort of accidentally do your duty as opposed to doing it because it's the right thing to do. So what he's saying is important about duty here isn't just doing it, it's doing it with the goodwill. And so the goodwill is still what matters even in this case. So now Kant wants to elaborate on this point about why we do things. What's the right motive to have? So what's the difference, he's going to say, between doing our duty for the right reasons and not? Well, a lot of the time it's hard to tell, and he gives this example of a grocer. So a grocer gives correct change, right? This shopkeeper doesn't shortchange customers, even when those customers would be easy to trick, right? They're little children or they're new in town, they don't understand how the currency works, something like that. Now there are two reasons that a grocer might do this, right? The first is because of duty, right? It's wrong to shortchange people, you ought to conduct your affairs legitimately, so that's one reason. The other reason, right, is that if you as a shopkeeper get found out, if you get a reputation for cheating people, you're going to go out of business, right? You're doomed. So it's unclear, right, because both considerations point to giving the right change. When we just see someone doing that, we're not sure why they would do it. Kant's going to say it's better to do things out of duty than because some other reason. So it's better for the grocer to give the right change because he or she loves his customers, or her customers, than just because of these sort of mercenary considerations about closing the shop. A good person, he'll say, does the right thing because it's the right thing. Now here's a puzzle that this brings up. We know sometimes that doing the right thing is good for you. And we know that a lot of people actually enjoy doing the right thing, right? People enjoy volunteering, they enjoy helping people, they enjoy giving to charity, all of these sorts of things. Are they doing something wrong when they help people because they enjoy it? Right, so if I'm bored on the weekend and I think, well, what can I do? Well, I know I really love building houses for the poor, right? So I'll go work for Habitat for Humanity because I'm bored, and that's something I like to do. Not because it's the right thing to do, but because I like to. Are they doing something wrong? Well, Kant's going to say, no, they're not doing something wrong, but they're not doing something really right either. He's going to say that doing things like this has no what he'll call genuine moral worth. You only have moral worth, really doing something right, when you're doing something from duty. This isn't so crazy, though, because we really want to make sure that good things get done. And so you might worry about something like this. What if I stopped finding building houses fun? I just wouldn't do it anymore, right? Because that's the only motivation I would have in this case. Kant doesn't think it matters, right, what you find fun. He thinks that what matters is your duty, right? So if you think it's your duty, it's going to stay your duty no matter what. You just need to do it. You can't sort of change your mind. You can't get bored. It's still your duty. So if you're doing things because they're the right thing to do, you're not just going to sort of spontaneously change your mind. You're not going to get disillusioned, something like that. Now, it's important to note that following your duty doesn't mean neglecting yourself, because we have some duties to ourselves. These include preserving our own life, so suicide is wrong for Kant, and keeping ourselves happy. But remember that lives and happiness aren't the absolute good, right? These aren't perfectly good, absolute ends in themselves. The only thing that's like that is the goodwill. So we need to keep living and stay happy so we can keep doing our duty. That means you can't just do whatever makes you happy and say, it's my duty, I have a duty to myself. You can't do that, right? You need to be happy for the right reasons. This seems a little strange, just might strike you as odd. Definitely something you could post about in the forums, and we'll see what Kant wants to do with this in our next video.